Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Mr. Grant's art videos. It's been a little while since I made a video, so we're ready for a new one. Today what we're going to be doing is I wanted to teach you how to do pop-ups to make cards and books, and it's a great thing we typically do around the holidays, so people can use it for that. But the way I like to put a twist on this lesson is to make this into a mystery game. So what you need are glue, any kind of glue, scissors. You might want to use a ruler. You can use your paper from your sketchbooks I gave out if you're in my class. If not, just find 2 scrap pieces of paper. I like construction paper crayons because they draw on dark colored paper really well. So this is all I could find at my house because my kids use up all my paper to make art projects. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to cut these 2 pieces of paper to the same size, or close to the same size. And then I'm going to take both pieces of paper, layer them up together, fold them in half, touch the edges together. If you're not good at folding, what you need to do is touch the corners, hold it, and slide your hand back. That's my tip for teaching how to fold if you're not good at folding. Now that it's folded in half, you can see the folded edge and the open edge. This is important. Okay, so on the open edge, I might actually trim off my corners. This is not something you have to do. It's just a quality tip to make your artwork a better quality. So a tip for quality control. So when I open it up, it kind of has a nicer look, even though my papers are a little crooked. It kind of gives it that personalized look that you guys might be going for. So this is going to be the outside of our card, and what we're going to do is write a sentence stem on there for our game. And it is help blank find blank. So on the inside, this piece is going to be the piece that we cut up hard. We're going to need 2 sheets because there's one piece that gets cut. So on this piece, you can use your ruler, because if you eyeball this, you're probably going to mess it up. But what I want you to do is draw about an inch, a line that's about an inch long. And when I say about, it doesn't matter how long your line is. What matters is that both the lines that you draw are exactly the same length when you cut them. If you have one just a little bit longer than the other, they're not going to cut right. They're not going to work in the next step. They're not going to fold right, sorry. So I just made my cuts. You may not be able to tell, but I made 2 cuts here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is open this back up, and this is the part that students have the hardest time with. I'm going to push this inward. I don't know if you can see that very well. Once you push it inward, it almost like folds by itself. But you want to direct the fold so that it doesn't fold crooked. And I can show you what it looks like when a fold folds crooked. When it folds straight, it looks like a chair that pops up when you open the card. Pretty cool. When it's crooked, it's not square. It looks like that. Now you may be able to use that for something. A lot of times it doesn't work. Okay, so that's one way to do a pop-up. A second way to do it is to cut 2 lines and make something slide through. So you can't. Should I stab it through the paper, Mr. Grant? No, you don't want to stab it through. There's a secret to that as well. You just fold the paper, and again, try to make your 2 cuts exactly the same. And then you can take a scrap of paper and have something slide through your slot. Make sure that the slot is the same width as the paper. Now make sure if you're going to do this type of a slider, what I would recommend is number 1, put a tab at the end here. A tab is when you fold the paper up like the letter L. And I would make sure that I'd make a tab at both ends. Another way to make sure it doesn't slide out is to get a piece of paper and use your glue. Once you have it, your slider piece through the hole, put a little line of glue here and stick an extra piece on there so that when you pull it this way, it stops. It's a stopper. It keeps it from coming all the way out. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's 2 different ways that I've done pop-ups. Now when I glue this down to my blue paper, we're going to glue this on here. This is the next most important part that people mess up. Don't put glue on here because you'll end up gluing your pop-ups stuck to your paper. Stuck to your paper. This stuck and this stuck. So what I want to do is I want to glue only the areas that are not going to be affected by the pop-ups. Like this. I don't even want to glue there because remember it slides in and out. So that was probably a mistake. So there we go. That's probably good enough. That's how I want to glue that side. Stick it down. And this is how I'll glue this side. Stick it down. When you're ready, you can add any kind of shape on top of your pop-up. Like this. And now you have a pop-up card. Ta-da! With 2 different types of sliders. Okay, let me show you a 3rd type of pop-up, which is just to glue a piece of paper in half, and you can make a door that opens. You can make a secret trapdoor or a carpet on the ground that pops up. And all I did was just put a line of glue on one side and leave the rest blank. So that's 3 different ways to do pop-ups. After you created your pop-up and you created your sentence stem, the last thing is designing your card. And I would recommend having 3 suspects and 3 clues. And that makes the game short and fun. I'll give you a few examples that students have done in the years past. And that is my lesson on how to do a pop-up card and how to make it into a pop-up card mystery clue game. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun.